Now, this vision isn't exactly the best vision. They're talking about work replacements and the future of AI and robotics and what that means as a society. And what they're proposing is tax the machine that the people would. Okay, so they're talking about taxing robots in place of workers and taxing them at the same level that the worker would have at one point. So I don't know about this plan, but the idea behind it was they're trying to create a vision for people to jump on board and calm down the fears of this acceleration, because there really isn't a whole lot that we can do right now in terms of slowing down the robotic revolution. It's coming, it's here. There's a few things I'll say about that a little bit later, but this is like a nice roll out of the carpet before they start implementing more and more features.
And bottom line is, I think that this rollout or this proposal that OpenAI has put out there is very, or the timing of it is very suspicious. Let me just start with that as they're going public. That in and of itself already gives me pause. But it does sound very altruistic. Everything you just said, right on the money. We're going to actually, there is one point of this, as you can see in the headline up on the screen here. They're talking about the robot taxes, right? But there's a piece buried in that that we're going to break out a little bit, because personally, that affects you and I on the screen and anybody else that's utilizing AI right now. But it sounds great. Get a public wealth fund so you can like pay people. Think like UBI. That's probably the most connected. Right, 4-day work week. Boy, doesn't that sound good?
They're definitely painting a rosy picture. The definite concerns right now is job displacement, wealth concentration, and what they're doing with these data center buildouts. I don't know if you have a ton of them happening in your area. There's a lot of conversation around me about new ones being deployed all the time. So there's a lot of concerns about that.
Fortunately, I don't have a lot rolling out in my area, but I do know there are like many going across the U.S. I guess we should point out that there's a lot of pushback to these data centers. And are you seeing this data center sprawl, if you would, happening in Canada?
From the headlines I'm seeing in the US, it definitely seems like it's happening there a lot more aggressively. Maybe it has a lot to do with power consumption, the cost of power.
Sure.
Power is definitely higher over here, or at least in some areas it's higher over here. So there's not a lot of favorable areas. However, the new government that came in right now is incentivizing the construction of these facilities. And the incentives are to build them out in areas across Canada. So I can see that picking up steam over the next year or two.
There's no way that we'll keep up with this increasing use of AI without having more of these things. So you're right, it's just going to keep going. But let's focus in a little bit on the tax arena with regard to these AIs, and we're gonna play 4 minutes long, but we're gonna let the AI that I love using, Dr. Julia McCoy, again, links to everything is in the description. We're gonna let the AI explain what's going on with the AI. And but before we get into that, it's funny, I hadn't really considered when I first read that article you had up on the screen from OpenAI that the proposal would adversely affect someone like me, because it's like, okay, I'm just using the AI to help me be more productive, more streamlined, more efficient in my business. And then, as we're about to see in this video, when she lays it out, it's like, well, damn, this isn't really a tax per se. Okay, my opinion, not necessarily a tax per se on the robot. It's a tax on being efficient by using the robot. Because think about it, these bigger OpenAIs, Google, Anthropic, whoever, they're huge. They're going to be able to absorb whatever. And even if that weren't the case, they have lobbyists in DC who are going to be manipulating whatever gets put into place that is obviously going to favor them, much like we're seeing with the whole Clarity Act right now. Everything that's going on with that Clarity Act has nothing to do with me and you, Jar. It has all to do with what's going to be best for the banks and the exchanges and all that. Well, the same is going to happen here, in my humble opinion. So I don't know, at the end of this section that we're about to watch, she mentions, get it set now, get everything in place now. but before the regulation actually hits, and that's probably good advice. I'm going to bring that up on the screen. Jar, do you want to add anything before I let this thing run?
No, well, one small thing is just like if they're helping write the policies, then they're obviously designing it to help maneuver
Oh,
whatever
hell yeah.
they're putting out there. Right? So that's what they get. They have billions of dollars at disposal to help finance the way they're going to lean into the future. So whatever rules and laws come into place, I don't put much weight on it.
Agreed. And one other point, which is why I like seeing, again, has absolutely nothing to do with the AI discussion we're actually having right now. But that's why I like seeing that now we have lobbyists in DC that are working for the average retail person to put forth crypto positive laws and so on for that will help the average retail person, because unfortunately the banking lobby's got all these senators and everybody else in their pocket. Like, let's just call it what it is. So we need to have some kind of a counterweight to that. So anyway, I know I'm mixing these together, but like Jar said, it's doing this. This stuff is coming together, and
It's
man,
converging. It's happening right now, right in front of our eyes. Yeah.
literally, yes. Hence the title. Yeah. Anyway,
OpenAI just proposed that the United States government should tax robots.